Hello, everybody. Look who I have. Look who I have.
Hi. Yes, it is late night for Fiber Spider today.
Come on, Mama.
Hope everybody is doing well. Yeah. Well, see, uh, right now, well, it's midnight here, but right about now, and maybe in like an hour or two, my mom's going to be having breakfast in Ireland. So, you know what they say, while the cat is away, the mouse shall play, or the fiber shall spider, or the spider shall fiber. Hope everybody's doing good.
Hello, Carmen and Sherry and Maisie.
Hi.
Robin, hello. Sue Ann, um, Deborah. So if you're further up, guys, you're going to have to swing back around and say hello again.
Hello, Manuela and Maisie and Donna. Hi, everybody.
Hmm. So through Restream, Craig can actually see the chat
Big
instead
improvement.
of
Yes.
either watching uh the video, or he can watch the chat and not see the video. But through Restream, he can do both now.
Yeah, I think Russ kind of sold me on it because earlier today we did we did a test to see if it could work. And yes, lo and behold, it works. So all excited and happy because the last time I did a live stream on StreamYard, there was this icky button thing right over all of the chat, and I couldn't see what you guys were saying, and I was so upset. In case you couldn't tell, um, and then Russ was on Restream, and I'm like, okay, but then I couldn't see the chat and see, our fabulous fiber faces, and but then he figured out how to have it on the side, so I'm all happy now. You're making the arbor poncho in cherry red. Ooh, sounds pretty.
Um, Russ, have you had to order any yarn since the crazy tariffs started? And if so, did you have to pay more? So, Serena, I tried to order from ICE, but the shipping rates were doubled.
Oh, well, the
So it
shipping rates
was,
are always sucky with ice.
well, so I ordered, it was a small order. It was like 300 and some dollars. And usually the shipping is equal to what you order,
Which is
which
outrageous.
it is, but nonetheless, it's still doable, because of by the time you still cost every item out, you're still coming out ahead. Um, so, but this time around, shipping was almost $700 on a $300 order, and it's like nada, nada.
I hope you like decided not to get that after all,
Oh yeah, no, I'm not paying that.
because that's crazy sauce. Like Orange is the New Black has crazy eyes. That's crazy sauce. You know, I cannot say that. I'm sorry. I'm messing with the side of the screen here. There we go. That that mm-mm, 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 mm-mm,
Nope.
mm-mm, mm-mm. Dear Craig and wonderful Russ, I want to be wonderful too. He can be dear. I want to be wonderful and dear. I want to be both. I'm a voracious spider today.
I should have sent you a package.
Uh-oh. That that that's dangerous speech coming from you.
Um,
Because I know you.
Well, I have to make room for new yarn.
Yeah, so do I. Well, okay, correction. I don't have to make room for new yarn. I have to make room because I need to I need space more than stuff right now. As I've said earlier to you today. 2, 4, 6, 8,
So
10.
because you're such a wonderful, dear friend, and we've been friends for years.
True. Yes.
Um, I've got this special gift in mind for you.
If it's getting shipped in a U-Haul and it has to remain in a U-Haul, I can't do anything about it because I know you. If it okay, you know, I know you would love to send me a pod. I can deal with a Tide pod, but as far as the amount of space, because I'm trying to get rid of stuff. One of my coworkers, I know that she likes to crochet and knit and so forth. Just the other day, I gave her a black garbage bag filled with random bits and bobs of yarn because I'm trying to pare things down a bit, and I can only stitch so fast. And she's like, "What am I going to do with this?" I'm like, "Well, you're a lucky ducky. If you don't want to use all of it, give some of it to your boyfriend. Have fun. Um,
Oh yeah, that's right. Her boyfriend
yeah.
crochets.
You finished the pinwheel blanket. Oh, you're so very welcome. Very, very welcome, Deborah. I'm glad that you liked it, and I hope that my instructions were thorough enough. I really tried to go the extra mile by doing like a full repeat. I mean, it took forever to do and to film, but I like to be thorough in case you guys couldn't tell. I don't want to be redundant. I just want to be thorough. That's how I jimmy jam.
Mm. Okay, let's see. So I know I missed a lot of people, and I'm sorry. Um, but tonight is kind of like a special episode. I'll try and hit the chat when I can, but
What
we're
what what
talking to.
what's what's special that's happening? I'm sorry to interrupt, but what?
You're here. Hello.
Well, yeah, I'm here, but I'm old news.
Uh-uh. You
Uh-huh.
you are our celebrity.
I don't see Bruno Mars in here.
We don't we don't need Bruno Mars. We just need our fiber spider.
I don't see Jason Momoa.
Hello, Shell. And then the crafty witch.
I don't see
Uh,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
MG57.
Hello, show. And Danny is lurking and listening. Hello,
And
Danny.
the Darth
But you
Mom
you
is
just
here.
you gave yourself away, Danny. You see, if you're a true lurker, you don't say anything. But I'm glad you did, so I could say hi. Woo.
Hello, Tina. I finished the Lacey Shaw, Craig. Great tutorial. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. No, I heard like an explosion behind me, like a firecracker or some such. I
Well,
don't
of
know.
course, because celebrity is in the house. We're
Uh,
going to hear all kinds of fabulous things.
No, you know me. You know how I am. I do what I do. I do the best that I can, and I go from there. That's
Mm.
that's that's me. That's what I do. You know. Um. Uh. Shell says, "How am I doing? I'm doing fine. I am doing just fine. Um.
Mm.
You know.
Carmen says, I'd rather have you, Craig, than BM, JM, now BC.
Okay. JM is Jason Momoa. BM is Bruno Mars, and then BC. Did you say? Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch. Because I'm like, what were all the names that I just rattled off?
Oh, and Lisa's wanting more loom knitting.
Oh,
That's what she says. She says,
okay.
Hi, Craig, hoping you will put up some more loom knitting videos soon.
Well, actually, there is a project that I did not that long ago, where I loom knitted a project, and I think it came out pretty good, pretty well. Um, and then just other things, they just sort of popped up and said, "Hello, we want to be worked on as well. Hello." And that's kind of what happened. Life, like, life has a very, very fun way of happening. Wait, does that happen in Restream or no? The little heart thingy?
If I can get my hands.
What would it work if I did it?
Nope, because you don't have an
Pooh,
iPad.
pooh, pooh to you.
Oh, it's not working tonight. Uh-oh. Maybe I forgot to hit the button.
Well,
Oh,
I
I
I
could have.
can't help that. I cannot help that.
No, but
Um,
I believe I forgot to hit the button because there's a little button in there where it
so
asks where it asks if you want to have hand gestures.
Okay, first off, Bliss says that Jason Momoa is like eye candy. Just saying, yes. And I have some serious need of like dental work from all that eye candy, because mm, he's a treat. Um, and I believe Shell said that I wasn't trying to sound like Julia Child, Kristen. I was trying to sound like Mrs. Doubtfire. Well, hello. Oh, I must look like a yeti in this getup. I'm melting like a snow cone in Phoenix. But no, I think it was Shell that said trying sourdough. It changed my life for the better. Okay, and I'm not talking about like the probiotic gut health benefit type stuffs. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the fact that it's so satisfying. It is. It is. It changed my life. It is so satisfying to make bread, you know, of your own volition. It's like you don't need to go and buy little packets of dry active yeast. No offense to those that use it, but you're making your own yeast. You got this little live little hello creature in your fridge, and all you have to do is just feed him and he feeds you. It's a very symbiotic relationship, you know. Um, yes, yes. There you go. You got your cream and your sugar now.
Well, see,
Um,
I don't buy little packets of yeast. I buy
no, you
yeast by
buy
the pound.
bricks. Yeah, you
I
buy
buy
bricks.
I buy yeast by the pound.
We
It's
know
much
you.
it's way cheaper that way.
Mhm. Uh, let's see, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 39. One more. Okay, made so many things. Oh, Manuela, I'm glad. And
Fiber
wait, wait,
spider, I
wait, what?
won't be worried about the dental work. It's the canvas.
The canvas. Or do you mean the cavities?
Today feels like a say something hat day.
Say something that day.
Uh,
Well,
Tina
you know
wants
what?
to know. Tina wants to
Hmm?
know. Do you have a recipe for that?
I'm sorry, a recipe for what?
I'm guessing your sourdough.
Well, I do have making sourdough bread. Um, the only thing is like you need a sourdough starter. And in that video, um, I don't know if Amazon still sells that though. It's called Endless. Endless was the brand of the sourdough starter that I used. And I found it on Amazon, and I had no issues or problems right out of the gate, um, because it's a live culture that they send you. Is Michael here? MDL Michael? Because I see everybody saying hello, Michael. If Michael's here, hello, Michael.
You said endless what?
It's a sourdough starter. It's called Endless, and it comes in like a little plastic container. It's not dried. It's in like a liquid state. It looks sort of like watered down Elmer's glue when you get it. And then when you get it, you can't just like wait. No, when you get it, you have to feed it because it's alive and it's been starving. So you have to feed it with flour and water and get it up to speed again. Yes, MDL is here. Robin Love, Carmen Swaits, Lorraine Hun, and all you wonderful loves. Michael, how are you? Was chit-chatting
Hello,
with Panda
Michael.
earlier.
Hello, hello.
Yes, I was your he says, I'm here, work hubby. Yes. Um, Michael is my work hubby, and for Panda, I'm his chat hubby.
So they have living dough, 233-year-old San Francisco sourdough starter culture.
Well, it's not dehydrated. It has like
No,
hydration to it.
it's in a little container and it's ready to go.
And it says endless on it, correct?
Nope, it just says
No.
living dough.
Okay, that might be a different thing. I mean, the one that I use is called Endless, but seriously, I had absolutely no issues right out of the gate. Absolutely love the results, and I've kept mine going for over a year. I got mine not this past February, but last February, and I couldn't be happier because the amount of bread and crackers and all sorts of goodies that I've made with it, mm, and as long as you feed it, it will feed you. Um, So where did you find what you're seeing there, Russ? Where did you
Oh,
find it? Because somebody
I'm
doesn't.
on Amazon.
Oh, it is on Amazon.
I've not been able to find it. I even typed
Oh,
it in, but
oh,
it didn't. Nothing come up.
okay. Because I know that when I did the video for making sourdough, I put the link to the sourdough starter on, in the description box. Um, but the availability with certain things does change. Some things are no longer available. Like there was a kind of chili crisp that I absolutely love, and then all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. But then the exact same product came back, but in a different listing. Amazon does weird things. What can I say? Um, but yeah, stuff, things, and stuff. So I seriously, I absolutely love it. And what I really, really love is that um, when I make bread, there's no way that I can eat an entire loaf of bread in the time between when I bake it and when it goes stale. So I like to share. And so whenever I make a loaf of bread, excuse me, I always take half of a loaf that I bake and I bring it into work and I give it to somebody. And sometimes it's somebody from my department, sometimes they're from a different department, sometimes it's the custodians or the guards. And that's what I like to do, you know? And so, and I do that like at least once a week. And one of the people that I gave it to, she's in the tech department, and I gave her half a loaf, and it was so sweet. I almost died. Now, I get these uh, baker bags. It's like a brown paper bag with like a cellophane front to it so you can see what's inside. And so I get a lot of those because I go through a lot of them. And with the package comes these little round stickers that says "Made with Love." And so what she did was she got specially made stickers for me that says "From the Kitchen of Craig" with a little whisk and a little chef's hat. I was like, it was so thoughtful and so unexpected. So she's like, you're doing such a great job. You should do it right. You're doing fabulous. And so she got me those stickers, and I thought it was really, I was touched. I thought it was really quite sweet. Yes, Michael is a Tunisian god.
If you need something Tunisian, go to Michael.
Mhm. Darn tootin'. Yeah, unfortunately, the person that was going to go with me to the tattoo parlor on Tuesday, she had to cancel on me, unfortunately. Um, so I got to go on my own. Um, so I'm still going to try to get some footage of me at the tattoo parlor. Hopefully, they will accommodate me in that regard, and I can get some video footage and so forth. Um, looking forward to it, but unfortunately, yeah, she can't make it. So I'm flying solo. I'm not scared or nothing, but it's always nice to have moral support. So we'll see how that happens and how that works.
What time's your appointment?
It is at 4 p.m.
Hmm.
I'm not going live. Not gonna go live. You
Well, no,
know,
I was going to say I would, if I wasn't at work, I could video chat with you while you do it.
I think it's nice that they're accommodating me. I don't want to take advantage though. Like I don't want to cramp his style because I mean, like he's working. When he's going to be tattooing, he's going to be working. And I did ask. First, I asked. I called and I said, "Is it okay if I bring somebody?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." And I'm like, "Okay." That being said, is it okay if they film part of the process of me getting tattooed? He's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And like he seemed surprised that I asked. I'm like, "Listen, you're an artist, you're working. I respect that. I'm also a creative type. I wouldn't consider myself to be an artist per se. I would consider myself to be an artisan because of the nature of what I create. Um, to me, artist, I always think of things of a more decorative and visual kind of creativity, whereas the things that I do, it's more utilitarian in nature. It's not just something that can sit there and look pretty, which it had that things that sit and look pretty do have a value. Don't get me wrong. Um, the things that I predominantly make, they look pretty, but also they have a secondary function. They're not just pretty, but they're also practical. Um, will you be making a cardigan in the future? Just asking. I have done a cardigan. You kidding? Manuela, for shame. Yes, I've done a cardigan. I did a really cool cardigan, I think. It was with Lion Brand's mandala in the colorway of Centaur, and I did a series on that, and it was pretty easy to do. It's very easy to customize, and in fact, I've made about I want to say 3 or 4 of them, and that I did. I want to say maybe about maybe 2 years ago. I did. So yes, I did do a cardigan. I didn't add buttons though. Um, I wanted to keep it nice and open. You know.
How about a knitted one with cables?
Oh, I'm sorry, I've got an itch. You and your cables, you're always messing with me. You are always, always, always incessantly messing with me. I love you, but you're messing with me. I know that's part of your charm, right?
I just think you would do a fabulous job at doing a tutorial on cable knitted sweaters where you got the fancy cables running down the sleeves and it lines up perfectly with the rest of the sweater in cables and
Yeah, keep making that face. Keep making that face. That smarmy, pouty little face of yours. Listen. Oh wait. What is Barbara saying? Craig, if you sing, you're an artist. If you crochet, you're an artist. you can sew and be an artist. I just it's sort of like it's like, okay, here's another example. Okay, is a lot of times I get told that I'm talented. I don't see it that way. No, I don't. No, I don't. I hear me out. Hear me out now. Okay. I don't consider myself to be talented. I consider myself to be skilled because this did not just happen. Okay. I have been feverishly stitching away and working for the past 20 years to get where I am. It didn't just happen. Okay. When I first started, oh, I was rubbish. I was awful because my tension was all over the place, especially if it was happy hour, or if I was overtired. The tension, woo, Nelly, it was all over the place. Um,
I don't have tension either unless I have my medicine.
like the tension was all over the place, and on top of that, I didn't understand anything about color theory and what went well together, what didn't, or dye lots, didn't know anything about that. Um, and I had to learn a lot along the way from my own mistakes. Now, Panda, of course, he had to correct me, which is fine. Um, and he's like, but it's the way you create things. It's how you come up with things that makes you talented. The way that your brain works. And I'm like, well, it's a blessing and a curse. And I've talked about this a lot before, where on the one hand, it's great because I can come up with ideas. That's fabulous, but I can't switch it off. That's kind of the curse aspect of it because I'll be trying to get some sleep and my brain's like, no, no, no. Your eyes are closed. It's time to play. We're going to come up with new things. Um, so as far as coming up with ideas and variations of pre-existing stuff and ways to manipulate things into other things, I could consider that to be a talent. But as far as the labor involved, I don't consider that to be a talent. I consider that to be more of a skill because it's taken me a long time to get where I am. Um, I mean, I know that the intentions are always good when people say that I'm talented, and I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's just me with my overthinking regarding semantics because, like I said, I can't switch this noggin off. And what you were saying about me making a cable knit cardigan, um, yeah, no.
Okay.
See, I already have a reservation for a really comfy room with padded walls and everything is white. And the attendants, they all wear, white, and they've got a really awesome cozy jacket that helps you hug yourself and you're all nice and snug and cozy wozy. I already have a reservation, so I don't need a speeding up of that reservation. I'm already a little bit loopy, in case you
Well,
guys
I'll tell
couldn't
you
tell.
what. Make your own straight jacket and add cables to it. That way, when you're in your room, it flows with the walls.
Mm, mm. Actually, way back, I'm going way, way, way back. I bought one, but not the way you're thinking. Um, there was a company. This was like late '90s when I was in college. Yes, I'm dating myself. Um, and there was a company called Straight from the Asylum, and it was a fashion company, small fashion company, that did fashion in the style of straitjackets. And I thought, "Oh, that's novel." And so they had a jacket that it looked like a straitjacket. It had the buckles and the straps, and it was made out of like a heavy duty canvas, and it was sort of like an off white. And I thought it was really, really cool. I was like 18 and rebellious, and like when you're 18, you're always going through a phase, right? Um, and so I bought it. It was really expensive, but I hated it not because of the look or anything like that. No, it was because there was no collar at all. Because on straitjackets, there's no collar at all. That, and also it was, to me, it was just a little bit too small. I like things that are baggy, and it was like right at waist level. I wanted something that came down lower, and so I just, I sold it to one of my friends. I'm like, I'm not gonna dig this, and so I gave it to one of my friends. But it was fun. I know that was an extremely long, pointless tangent. I apologize, but
Hello, Dawn. Ada, hello, and Sherry.
hi, Dawn
Oh, I missed someone else too. I know I did. I said hi to Michael. Up there's
and
Christy.
Dawn
Hello,
Lurkin.
Christy. And then there's Nikki. Hello. Um, Sharon. Barbara. Oh my gosh, trying to
And don't
get
forget to
trying to
hit the
stay
like
caught up.
button, everybody. Everybody hit that like button.
And give me thumbs. Give me thumbs. Give me my thumbs. Thumbs.
Okay, that was a voice. That was very much a voice.
Did you like it?
It had a sort of Looney Tunes quality about it. Yeah.
Looney Tunes quality. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Looney Tunes quality.
Like a Warner Brothers cartoon, like a little animated cutie. Go with it. I like cartoons. Well, okay. I think the only cartoons that I don't groove on from back in the day, Hanna-Barbera. No. Mm-mm. I was never a huge fan of Hanna-Barbera. The Jetsons might be the exception to the rule. I liked the Jetsons. Um, but like I hated the Flintstones. I hated Yogi Bear. I mean, I love bears. I love teddy bears. I love actual bears. Um, but the reason why, okay, there's a reason why I didn't like Hanna-Barbera very specifically. I didn't like Hanna-Barbera because the animation quality was so cheap. Like there would be a character running and the background would be repeating itself like every 5 frames. Like some dude would be running past the same tree 20 times in quick succession because the animation quality was garbage. Now, I think it was MGM, Warner Brothers, like the Tom and Jerry cartoons. Those were good. You know, Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam, Foghorn Leghorn. Even though his manner of speech was irksome, um, I loved those. Um, oh, Manuela says, "Oh, okay. So you made that cardigan. Now you're waiting for another one. Oh, I see how it is." It's just never enough, is it? So yeah, the Tom and Jerry's, I think those were my favorite. Oh, and the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons.
Magilla Gorilla.
That was definitely Hanna-Barbera, wasn't it?
You didn't like them?
It was Hanna-Barbera. Just the animation quality, I'm sorry, it's just subpar.
The Great
Can't
Grape
I
Ape.
Well, wait, wasn't Magilla Gorilla the gorilla for sale? I mean that's like, you know, saying slavery is a good thing.
Craig, I named my Roomba Rosie.
Roomba. Maybe Roomba? I think that shell means the Roomba, like the little electronic vacuum cleaner thingy. Yeah, actually, I think we had one, and I named it Belvedere.
Why did something is crazy going on?
What happened to you? You're defying gravity.
Hello. Ooh.
Well, you're not
Ooh.
upside down. What happened? You must have shifted your screen somewhat to change its
I
alignment.
I did not touch my screen.
You must have done something.
Nope.
Something, something.
Nada nada.
Something, something. Oh, there you are. The grape ape and Suede buggy. I don't know that one.
Mm. Speed buggy.
Oh, okay. Different letter. Okay, speed buggy. Haven't heard of that one. Well, the thing
You've
is,
not
I
seen
think
speed buggy?
mm-mm, no. The thing that got me about the Flintstones is, to me, it was a direct ripoff of the Honeymooners. Think about it. Yeah,
What was a rip off?
the Flintstones was a ripoff of the Honeymooners. Think about it. You had two couples, okay, where the wives were actually the ones who were really in control. You had Barney, who was sort of the lackey of Fred. Okay, Fred. Ooh. He was a total lackey. He was sweet, but he was a little stupid. Um, the only difference is that the Flintstones, they had a dog named Dino, and they actually had kids. They had Bam Bam and Pebbles. They actually had kids. Whereas in the Honeymooners, they never had kids. They had a pet. I think it was like maybe in one episode where Ralph got a dog. I think saved it from the pound, but they never had pets. They never had kids. But other than that, no. If you think about it, it was like a direct ripoff of the Honeymooners.
Hmm.
Okay, somebody
Okay.
Google this.
I already am.
See if I'm delusional or not. I think I'm right. I've never looked into my theory about this, but I think that it is a direct ripoff.
Okay, so the Honeymooners comedy sketches first appeared in 1951, but then were the sketches. But then the show come out in 1952 to 1955.
And
And
in the movie Back to
Flintstones,
the Future, well, I'm sorry, but in the movie Back to the Future, which took place in November of 1955, they were watching the Honeymooners. One of the episodes, which was new, that Marty McFly commented that was a rerun. Go ahead, Russ. What were you saying? I'm sorry for interrupting again for the umpteenth time.
the Flintstones came out in 1960.
Aha!
So about 8 years after the Honeymooners.
So there's some credence. Aha! It
And
is conceivable that I am correct.
yep, the Flintstones premiered on September 30th, 1960 on ABC. It ran for 6 seasons, concluding on April 1st, 1966. And it
1966, the year one. What am I quoting?
Um, and the prime time spot, September 30th, 1960, was at 8:30 p.m. Now
Does
it's
anybody
like
know what I'm quoting?
nada,
To 1966, the year one.
nada, not ringing a bell.
I'll give you a hint. It was a horror movie.
The Night of the Living Dead.
Nope, no. That would be They're Coming to Get You, Barbara.
I Love Lucy.
Horror movie. She could be scary sometimes, but no. And it wasn't Star Trek. Ah, Sherry says, I found something that said Hanna-Barbera admitted it was based on the Honeymurders. Thank you, Sherry.
Brian
Last
said what my father said when I was born.
Last Man on Earth, that's a good guess. But no, and that was a great, great Vincent Price movie. One of my favorites. I'll give you another hint in the form of a quote. That's odd. There should be a closet behind that secretary, and it looks like Darth Mom got it right. Congratulations, Rosemary's Baby.
I didn't
Darth
even see that
Mom.
movie.
Darth Mom, I knew I liked you for a reason. I hope you didn't Google that quote. Yeah, I've seen that movie way too many times. Hello, Mixed Mutt.
She gonna be lurking.
That's okay. Lurking is fine.
And
Not
Janet,
everybody
hello.
not everybody wants to participate, and that is totally fine. You're here. That's the point.
Oh, did I tell you what happened to me? Was it last week or the week before? A lady was in the chat and she
Mm,
said that she wants to learn how to knit.
okay.
And she's tried everybody. And I told her, well, try mine. And then we said, try yours. So she tried mine and she was actually able to learn to knit.
I'm sorry, try your what?
My teaching method of how to learn to knit.
What's your teaching method? I didn't know you had a teaching method.
I guess how
No
I
offense.
explain it. I guess
Okay,
how I
like no offense,
explain
but
it.
I didn't know you had a specific method.
She said the way that I presented it, she was able to pick it up and go with it and learned it.
Congratulations.
And I was on cloud nine.
Well, you should be. It's very gratifying. Oh,
Sherry says, I'm not a horror film. Mm.
the funniest thing happened to me the other day. I almost died. This was so cute and so priceless at the same time. And I was flattered, sort of. It was weird. I loved it though. Um, Wendell, I'm doing just fine. Thank you very much. Thank you for asking. Um, so I was at the desk at work, and there was a patron that came up. Now we have a section that we call the Friends of the Library book sale, and it's always going on. So people donate stuff to the library, and then it gets um, people donate stuff to the library, like their old books, their old movies, their old CDs, and then they end up uh, being put up for sale at a ridiculously cheap price. Um, and that way, things get recycled, and that's a good thing instead of in the trash. And the proceeds go to the library, and it's all good. So there was a woman that came up to the desk, and she had a couple of items. a couple of them were crochet books. I'm like, ooh, a fellow crocheter, Uh, always good to meet, a fellow stitcher, that kind of thing. And she's like, "Oh, do you crochet?" I'm like, "Oh, yes, I do. I very much do." And she's like, "Really?" And so we were talking for a short minute, and then she's like, "You sound awfully like Fiber Spider." And I'm like, "That's because you're talking to him." And she's like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yes, really." And then I showed her a picture of the pinwheel mosaic blanket, and she was just like, "Oh, wow, that's really cool." And it was a very pleasant kind of interaction and a pleasant sort of surprise. Like, it isn't often that that happens where somebody knows who I am out in public. When they do, sometimes I get a little nervous, like, okay, I hope that they know me for favorable reasons, and not like, I couldn't understand your tutorial, I'm gonna go full Karen. Like, no, usually it's a good interaction, and this was no exception. I was like, oh, that was just so wholesome and nice, and I could tell that my coworkers are like, oh, here he goes again. you know um it
Well,
was it was really nice.
well, that's not happened to me yet, but I am, you know, I don't have very many followers. So
Okay, here's the thing though. If you did more of your yarn shopping in an actual store as opposed to online, it might happen.
I'm going to Herrschners on June 12th,
Yeah, what state is that again?
Wisconsin.
A little out of my comfort zone. It's a little out of my reach.
Well, tell you what, come to my house and you can come with us on the boat to go over to Herrschners.
Yeah, but Michigan is also a little outside of my comfort zone. Helen,
I'm
no,
I'm just down
actually,
around the corner.
Helen, I'm not a librarian. I work at a library, but I'm not a librarian. I'm at the circulation desk. I check things in, I check them out, I deal with library cards, creating new cards, dealing with issues with old ones, that sort of thing. Um, you know, uh, I'm very much on the low man of the totem pole kind of situation there. You know, if it were bandied about that I'm a librarian, it's like, oh, no, 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 no. There is a very specific pecking order, and because I haven't earned my stripes nor degrees of being a librarian, I would get a severe looking at, um, you know, because I haven't earned those stripes. At one point I did think about going to, get a degree in library sciences. I did. I thought about it, but at the time when I had finished getting Russ, you're off the wall. No, you're on the wall.
Somebody in the chat was saying that um, Jax was having the same issue.
Oh, thank you, Manuela. Thank you, thank you. Um,
Hello, spring. Hello,
Spring, dear.
hello.
Hi.
Yes, spring.
Well, spring is in the air. Hope you're doing well.
I guess I'm just off my rocker tonight.
That that's your autopilot, dude.
I wish my son would bring me yarn from Herrschners when I come to Michigan on May 6th. Unfortunately, he's in Madison and not near Stevens Point. I enjoy taking my granddaughters to the library story hours now that they are getting older.
You're never too young, you're never too old when it comes to going to the library. We often get a lot of questions, relatively new parents. They're like, how old do you have to be in order to get a card? And my response, it's probably not a very professional response, but my response is, if you have a pulse, you can get a card. That's my usual pat answer. There's no age restriction. Um, Wendell, I live in New York. Yep. I am by no means, I am not close to New York City. Um, but I am in New York. For me to get to New York, it would take me at least an hour, and that is as the crow flies. Um, and I haven't been to the city since not this past winter, but the winter before, you know, fall/winter. I'm like a goldfish in a really questionable bowl. I don't travel well.
Well, I'll tell you what, come here and we'll put you inside of the dog kennel, and then you can take a nap, and then we'll let you out when we get there.
You said I was going to be next to or in the dog kennel.
You'll go inside the dog kennel. We'll make sure you get fresh food and
Oh,
water
gee,
on the way.
thanks. And why a dog kennel? You don't have a dog.
No, but Kevin has to have somewhere to sleep when he's in the doghouse.
No, that's reserved for you. You're the one who's always causing troubles, not him.
Tangled in Yarn says you are not missing anything in New York City.
It's too busy, you know? It's too busy, it's too noisy. Um, there's too much going on, you know? I would
Well, I'll tell you what. Go to the city, to the place that makes those great big huge bagels. Buy me 24 and have them shipped to me, and then you don't have to worry about going to the city for a while.
make your own.
Well, you could make me 6 dozen of sourdough ones, and I can put them in my
Make
freezer.
your own. If I was gonna make you anything, you know what I would make you? Because they have a really good shelf life? Crackers. I would make you some sourdough crackers. That's what I would make you, because even if they got stale, you wouldn't really know because they're already so crunchy. So that's what I would do. I would make you crackers if I were going to make you something.
This right here is the best lemonade.
Well, I am a big fan of my water kefir. I've been drinking it. I've been drinking two of these like every day for a while now. I have not noticed any health benefits, but that's not why I started drinking it. I like it because it tastes good and it's carbonated and I can make it whatever flavor I want. I like it.
When was the last time you made some?
Well, I need to feed. Well, my kefir grains, I call them Kingsley, and I did it 2 nights ago, so I have to do it again tonight. Well,
When can you
this
bottle?
one was fruit punch added, and then this one here, I already popped it because it like explodes when you open it. This one is with apple juice.
When can you bottle more?
Tonight. Why?
I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
every 2 days
So,
I make it. I make a new batch.
Number
You need
3.
what, 12? Was it? Oh, you need a total of
10.
10. Well, then you're on a roll. Good night, Sherry.
Yeah.
Sleep well. Spider
Aw.
snuggles.
I wish I could have a ton of
Spider
those.
snuggles?
No, look how
It
pretty
is
that color
gorgeous.
is. And
I
then
mean,
this
spider snuggles are
one.
good too, you know.
Okay, so now I gotta grab 22. Two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay, I'm gonna date myself again. Who remembers this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do, 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 do,
Uh,
do, do, do. Yeah,
Sesame Street.
12. What are you working on, Fiber Spider? Wendell, I am working on a knitted project, which does not look like anything much at the moment, but I have a vision. I've got a plan. And actually, I'm working on it.
It'll look better. It'll look better when you get the cables put in it.
Okay, I'll tell you, I'll make a deal with you. Bite me. You can decide where, but bite me, okay? Um, I'm not doing cables. The only cables I deal with are the cables that go in between the needles. Um, no, I'm working on this knitted project. I literally just started it because I heard about a really cool sounding knitting technique that I wanted to give a try. So it's more about the technique, less about an actual pattern. And so there's that. And I'm also working on another knitted project on top of that, but that takes a little bit more concentration. So I'm not working on that right now. But no, Cindy, I'm sorry. It wasn't Schoolhouse Rock. I mean, Schoolhouse Rock was a classic. It is a classic, but no, it was Sesame Street. It was this like crazy 1970s pinball machine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It was very psychedelic, very disco, very funk. Um, and it was really trippy. It was sort of like the Wonkatania ride in
Yeah, but with the tune, with the catchy tune, it actually taught people how to count to
12.
12.
um,
Russ, are those
you know
Aberdeen
it.
Hanks? I have gotten mine, which I ordered 4 months ago.
Very
Yes,
much
they
so.
are. I'm trying to
Does it
think.
hurt?
Yes, because I don't know if I should order more mini Hanks or not. Hello, Debbie.
I would say nothing wrong with ordering more of those because seriously, the Aberdeen Hanks, in my opinion, they are like potato chips. You know, like
They're
yeah,
good for everything.
they are. Like ketchup, you know. It's good with everything, good for everything. Um, absolutely love them. You know, if you can get your hands on them, I would say yes, get more. But I would also be more inclined to say use what you have, you know, before getting more.
Well, I have I have over 2,500 of them
Use
now.
more of what you have first. Conjunction junction, what's your function? Taking two words and putting them together. Not gonna sing more because I don't want copyright strikes from my good friend Russ. And I stink at singing.
No, better than I
Beans and
do.
rice, ain't that nice?
Craig, I am so glad you're here tonight. I have been disappointed about something and you brighten
Oh,
my mood. I love your illusions. So Helen don't love me.
you're
I'm
not
boring.
boring. I'm just manic. I have my own sort of je ne sais quoi about me. I'm a kooky little booger, and I'm in a chipper good mood because I'm off today and I will continue to be off for a whole week. So I'm happy. Go with it. Enjoy it.
You all you all you off this entire
That
week?
I've told you like a million times.
I I thought you still had to work at the
No,
library
I
then.
okay. My mom, she went to Ireland and it was for a 2 week
Yes.
trip. For the first week, for the first week
Uh-huh.
that she was away, yes, I was working. For the second week that she's away, I took off. Oh, thank you, Ada. Because the reason why I took only one out of the 2 weeks that she was away off is because I wanted to have what I call a staycation, but I didn't want to screw them over at work by taking that much time off. Um, I wanted to be reasonable about it. Um, so that's the method behind the madness, especially because the other week when I had to take some time off for bereavement, that was unexpected. It's understandable, but it was
Yep.
unexpected, and I felt bad doing that. But I was not in a I was not in a very functioning place. So taking 2 weeks off after already taking half a week off, I'm like, no. um, so I had already I had already scheduled to take a week off. This was like a month ago. Like I did it well in advance so that they could try to find coverage if they felt that they needed it. Um, so yeah, no, it's just this whole week I'm off. Woo. And like I always say, I call it a staycation, and it's fabulous because you don't have to worry about making reservations. You don't have to worry about a dress code. You don't have to worry about losing your luggage. You just do you, boo. And also I arranged to have my tattoo appointment for Tuesday because that way, if I'm in a lot of pain afterwards, I don't have to go to work and deal with it. I can just be at home and I can be a big baby on my own terms.
So I am doing good. Work is going great.
Have you acclimated well
Um,
going back? Because I mean, it was like three
oh
months,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. I'm already back to the swing of it. The guy that took over for me, he's been gone for the last 2 weeks.
For nothing bad, I hope.
No, it's just that
What?
he had to take over for me for the three
Right.
months, and so now he's trying to recuperate. Because he's like, I don't understand how you do it. He's like, I knowing that you were coming back is the only reason why I kept doing it. He's like, if you weren't coming back, he's like, I would have been gone.
See, that's the thing. Like when you were, working on the regular with your night shifts and everything like that, um, like we would chit chat when you were on your break at work, and I always would make sure that I wasn't recording at the time so that we could, chit chat for a little bit,
Hmm.
because that was designated rest time when you went on break, and then whatchamacallit, and then the thing is that when you were actively at work all the time during the weekends, you were like a lump, but an understandable lump because you worked your butt off all week, really long shifts, 5, 6 days a week, long shifts, you know, really less than favorable working conditions and such, and so understandable. that you were in sort of a funky, lumpy state. It's understandable. And now that you have, I would say, a better schedule that works better for you. Great. Oh, Matt's here. Hello, Matt.
Uh-huh.
Hope you're doing well, buddy. So I mean, you seem to be more functional with your new current schedule. Like you're not so dead on your days off that you don't get anything done.
Uh-uh. Matt, if you want to pop
Ooh,
up,
that'd be cool.
there's the link.
Always good to have Matt in here. Just be careful for trolls.
What do you mean?
Any troll could pop that link on.
Oh, I wouldn't accept them. If I don't see their little picture, I
I'm
don't
just
accept it.
saying, because you remember what happened to me one time with Coco. Remember that?
I still have that video on
Oh,
my
of course you do. Even though it wasn't me, I was embarrassed. That was just that
And
was a bit traumatic. Even though I had
Coco,
nothing to do with that.
Coco was priceless.
I was like, that was not
At least
me.
if you're going to show something, have some.
I was typing in frantically, that's not me, that's not me.
So, are you getting a spider knitting tattoo?
No, I'm not. Oh, Wendell asked that. What are you getting? What are you getting for a tattoo, fiber spider? Oh, I thought, okay, no, I'm sorry. I misread that. Actually, well, okay. I have had thoughts about getting a tattoo of a spider, but it wouldn't be a spider knitting or crocheting for that matter, because even though I have identified myself as fiber spider for like, what, better part of 10 years, I don't think that I would get a tattoo of fiber spider, only because life happens, things change, and I might not want like a direct reminder of it in case if I don't know, like I said, life happens. So I may not want like an actual reminder of it, if later on down the road something goes amiss or whatever the reason. Now, I do like spiders though. Spiders I think are really cool. I think they're fascinating creatures. I think that they are remarkable in what they're capable of doing. So I have actually had thoughts about perhaps getting a tattoo of a spider, but right now, actually, what I'm more so thinking about is Celtic artwork, Celtic knotwork, because I have a Celtic knot, which is what I'm going to be getting refurbished, redone, touched up, made to look all nice and pretty once again. And based on my experience with, oh, hello.
Hello, hello. How are we doing?
Oh,
Hi.
how come I'm all kind of crazy sideways?
What's that?
What was you
I
saying,
said,
Matt?
how come I'm all crazy sideways?
I don't. Yeah,
You're
I don't
straight
see you
up
as
and
being
down
sideways. I
now.
see you as being up and down.
No, 'cause
I
I
go
see it as
sideways.
I'm on the bottom. I'm like the whole bottom of the screen.
Well, yeah, you're on the bottom of the screen, but you're right side up. You're not like
No. But I
wonkified.
mean, I'm like across the whole bottom of the screen. Like you're in the corner,
That's
you're
That
in
this.
the
that's the nature of the beast.
What does that mean? I'm just fatter than the
Well,
both of you
actually,
two? What's up?
Russ, can you? Russ, can
No,
you change the format? Can you have 3 right next to each other as opposed to breaking it up in grid formation?
I'm not sure. Let's hit
Hello,
the little
Tracy.
buttons. We've got we have that one.
Wow.
We got that
Or
one. We have that one.
side to side to side.
We have we have that one.
There we go.
That's
And then we've
better
got this one.
because actually, Matt, I can see here up on you, like
That's
nose up. All right, actually, I'm gonna scroll the screen up a little bit. Okay, now I can actually see your smiley face there. Hello. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting my knot redone. I mean, it's not bad, but I think that it could use some TLC because it is like 20 something years old, and I think that it could use some work. But I was thinking about getting over time. I would like to get a sleeve of knot work, like sort of patchwork, like a piece here, etc., all in the Celtic theme. And that's kind of what I'm going for with right now, that idea. Um, we'll see. But it's really based on the experience that I'm going to have on Tuesday, whether or not I decide to do that, because I don't know what my pain tolerance level is going to be. Debbie says, can Russ fix his sound out of sync? I haven't noticed, but that's just me.
I honestly don't know how to put myself back in sync.
How about New Kids on the Block?
Um, honestly, I don't know what to do.
Did that joke just go way over your head?
No, I'm
Matt,
just
did you get
ignoring
it?
Yeah, I got it. That's why I'm shaking my head and like holding my, I got it.
I'm not a dad, but I got dad jokes.
Exactly. So what's everybody up to?
I'm just winding more
He's all
minis.
wound up. I'm working on a knitted project of sorts. Well, a couple of knitted projects of sorts, but that's
How's
not
the
new.
Quiet House doing?
How what?
I said, how's the quiet house? The quiet of the house doing?
I love it. Absolutely love the quiet. And I have to tell you, one of my guilty pleasures of having the place to myself. This is going to sound like I don't know. I don't know I don't know how you guys.
Eating all of that pasta.
Oh, actually, well, all the pasta that was in the fridge, I got through. The pasta that's in the freezer, I haven't touched that. I'm not in the mood for pasta right now.
I would imagine not.
But no, one of my guilty pleasures is that when I have the place to myself, what I like to do is tell me if you guys think this sounds crazy or low class. I use the washing machine as my hamper.
There you go.
So, it's like, I just, put, my dirty clothes straight into the washer. And then when the washer is full, I run it through. And then I use the dryer as my dresser. I get dressed from the dryer and, that's what I do. I don't know if that sounds.
That's what I do too.
Well, the thing is that I really can't do that when my mom is home because obviously we do not wear the same clothes. And she likes to, use the machine herself. But when she's not around, it's something I do. Maybe that sounds a little weird, but it's what I do. Yes, Matt, what are you working on now that you're no longer working on the bougie blanket?
now I'm finishing up my
Ooh, that's wild.
I love that yarn. What yarn is it?
it's Red Heart.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is that Granny Square yarn?
Yes.
Really?
It's Red Heart Color Bloom.
Oh, the flower
Yes.
one.
I'm
I'm
interested in
looking
seeing the
I
wrapper
don't
on
have
that one. I want to see the
because
wrapper.
I cranked it up in a cake.
No, I think
So
that that's really fun.
Come on.
I can't find the tag. I know
It
the
makes
tag's
me
around
think.
somewhere.
It makes me think of gothic candy corn.
It looks like
Yeah,
Halloween.
I like
Oh,
it.
another one? I didn't. I thought I was. Wookie dookie. It's this one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So they couldn't leave well enough
what's
alone
the
with just the granny squares being a flop. They decided to do flower granny squares that were also going to end up being a flop.
Yep.
I'm glad. I'm
what's the
This
color
is
name?
Catelli Bronze.
okay. Well, I love what you did with it. It works.
Yes.
That's gorgeous. See, I don't buy the granny square yarn to make granny
Well,
squares. I buy it for color
There
pooling.
you
well,
go.
that's what I did. I was like, I'm not, I'm not, I'm not good enough at this point to make this work.
Well, the problem with that yarn,
It's
the
hard.
problem
It's
with that yarn is you need to
pain in the
get
butt to get the actual like
mm,
come out the actual granny squares.
you need the
I'm
perfect tension.
yeah, and
Can't be bothered.
no, I don't want to mess with. I didn't want to fight with that.
No, it was enough when I did try to do like planned color pooling. That was a beast. No exaggeration. That was a beast. And what I did was I took a more organic form behind it. I went with the start of color pooling, but I didn't plan it to look like a specific argyle. I just let the yarn do its own thing. And it came up with some really cool pooling results. But to go for that like very specific diamondy argyle pattern it's a nightmare and it's not worth it.
No, it was. This was just. I wasn't.
Thank you, Vima.
I saw the yarn. I thought, hey, the colors are kind of cool. And then I read what
They
it
are
was.
very cool.
Oh heck no, I'm not fighting that.
You know, you
But
could say it's either
I
gothic
sold
candy
for that.
corn or a candle in a dark room because you got the yellow and the orange surrounded by black. I think it looks gorgeous.
Tangled in Yarn says she didn't have any trouble making granny
Well,
squares
then
out
you're
of it.
fabulous and we're not. How about
Yeah,
that?
Well, I've heard horror
everybody that I've
I've
heard
heard horror stories.
that's messed with the red heart, the granny squares, has had to like adjust tension and either hook up or hook down, or
Mhm.
they've had like it's been a process to get it to work.
I can't be bothered with it. I'm sorry. I can't.
Hello, Rebecca.
I've
Yeah,
got
I
far
was
too
like
many things to concern myself with than that.
I've heard nothing but horror stories. Crochet Facebook um, groups, nothing
I
but
can
horror
imagine.
stories.
well, even all of the creators that have messed with it too. It's all horror stories from doing it.
Yeah, I figured that was one
Yeah,
bandwagon I wasn't going to jump on. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Like I could already tell based on my experience with planned color pooling that I wasn't going to enjoy the experience. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let my morbid curiosity get the better of me. I'm going to pass and I'm going to sit this one out. Thank you though.
Yeah, this is,
like I said, I just buy it for the color, like Matt did. Just bought it for
Mhm.
the color pooling.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And I thought,
As long as you. Sorry.
I'll do something with it other than other than the granny squares, and it'll be cool.
It's looking good, babe.
So we did go into Joanne's Friday. Was it Friday? Did we went to Joanne's? It was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We went into Joanne's after dinner, and it was brutal.
I can imagine. Fur flying and everything, I'm sure.
But I did get a heck of a deal on some Prisma pencils.
How do you like them?
I like them.
Now, what kind did you get? Do you have them on hand so I can see the kind that you got?
Yeah.
The kind that work.
Hang on.
They all work, but they do
Not
work
all.
differently.
Differently.
I want to see them. I'm waiting. Hope you're doing well, Rebecca. Blow him up, Brez.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for him.
Okay, and what are the specs on those? Because the box, of course, is always gorgeous, but what is it? What does it say specifically on the front? Like what's the kind?
Pencils, artist quality, colored for every level of expertise, high quality pigments, rich color saturation, soft, thick cores, creates smooth color laydown for
Good.
excellent blending and shading.
Because the soft ones, because they have like two very distinct different kinds. There's the soft.
Yeah, this is the Premiere.
Yeah, the soft and the hard. The hard, they're good for like more technical type drawings. The soft is really good if you want to do any blending or shading. It's much smoother.
The thing is they had the pencils on sale.
Mm.
And it says it's a 24 pencil set.
Uh-huh.
I got more than 24.
Good. Go with it.
I got a whole
word of caution with those. I know this is going to sound silly, but whatever you do, try not to drop them.
Oh, I know.
Because you'll crack the lead.
After you had mentioned them, I went and checked out, and they said, they break real easy.
Because you can easily crack the lead on those if you're not careful.
They fall out, and like these I love, but these are like buku expensive.
Really?
Yeah, these are really cool.
Yeah, well, those are the ones that you said they're sort of like watercolor.
Yeah, but they instead of watercolor, when you put the water on them, it turns to like ink.
I think that's really cool, but I mean, I can only speak for the Prismacolors. That's the only like experience that I have with those. I still think that that's a really cool thing, though. Don't get me wrong. That's really gorgeous.
I like that. That's pretty.
The Prismacolors.
That's a cool coloring book.
This one's the Prismacolors, and this one.
It's coming out good.
And this one is the wind.
Oh wow,
gorgeous
colors.
Something that you could do.
Wow.
You could do a live stream color with me, and you could have your camera set up next to where you're coloring so that they can see what you're working on. And then people can color with you and could just sort of sit and chit chat and color together.
That would be cool. That'd be fun.
You could totally do that. I did something not quite like that, but similar. I did time lapse of doing adult coloring set to music. And that I did eons ago. I did the same thing with doing jigsaw puzzles, where I did a time lapse of doing a jigsaw puzzle, and I also did that with the adult coloring. But yeah, you could. Oh, got an orc.
That I like that.
He's a
That's
nasty
cool.
man. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I was playing around with the colors yesterday. These are the Prismacolors.
Very nice.
Nice. I really like that blue.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, so we've been having fun with the. Let me see yours.
Hold on.
The check this one out. I love this one.
Oh,
This is one that Becky did with the castle oil colors,
mm-hmm.
like the castle oil colors that I had. Was this?
Oh wow.
Gorgeous. Very, very nice.
Man, that's beautiful.
It's very, very nice.
That I thought that was just amazing.
Well, it is.
And she did this one.
Wow, I like that. I really like the colors.
Makes me think of Frida Kahlo.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it made me think of too.
I mean, her eyebrow needs to be connected, but
Hey, a little black pencil across the eyebrow.
Yeah, why not?
So, I mean, even Rebecca's doing some really
Yes.
pretty stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's the nice thing about the system. Anybody can color.
Because she was trying to use like the Aztec kind of colors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are we doing?
The worst, though, rose art.
Ouch.
Rose art is
You want
it's
a
the
box of rose
worst.
art?
No, they're scratchy, they're brittle, they're awful.
Which
Like
one?
certain brands are just absolutely awful. Rose art or Artist's Loft, they're awful. I mean, as much as I love Michael's store for certain things, their store brand is Artist's Loft, and those are awful colored pencils.
Which one?
What about the colored pencils I put in the countdown box? Were them okay?
Haven't tried them. I'm just being honest.
The ones that I've used for outlining, because they are the harder core pencils, are these.
Castle Arts.
Okay.
So these are the ones that I actually use for outlining. Because those are the other two are softer.
Yeah.
The Prisma and the DeWint are softer, and then that particular
These are the other two that I have. You want to show them?
that particular the castle is harder, so I use those to for outline for more precise.
I'm going to show them the ones I have.
And then no
one wants to know what book that is.
Then Rebecca's got these.
Those look nice.
So professional.
These are really cool. These are like watercolors. And then she got these are on sale, so she got these too. But I don't know if she's tried them out or not.
No, not yet. I haven't tried those out yet.
But the books that I've got a few different books. I've got one that I use as just kind of
But the ones that
testing.
show them the ones that I'm using for these.
But the
paintings.
two that I really like this author.
That's a good series.
So I've got this one, which has got some neat stuff. I haven't touched this one yet. There's a really cool dragon in there I want to do. And then it's the same author.
I like that dragon.
Yeah, that's actually one of the last. It's like one of the last ones in the book. Like the last picture, like the last picture in the book is that dragon. Where is it?
Holy
Oh my
hell.
God. That'll
a
take you
lot
a
of
hot
coloring.
minute to do.
Yeah, so that's actually the dragon. But the dragon that I am working on is the Chinese dragon.
That'll take you a while.
Yeah, there's no way I could do that.
No, you could. It just
Sure
take
you
you a
can.
while.
You just do it.
You
Uh-uh.
just do it in pieces.
Exactly.
I
You
mean-
don't try to do the entire thing in one sitting. You know, you
no.
break it up.
Like this has been a few days. Like as soon as I got the Prismo ones, I did the face and I did his hand.
Mhm.
And then I did some crocheting the next day and then messed with some of this. You know, so it's I don't do it all at once. It's over like, you know, I'll come home and I don't feel like very much like crocheting or anything. I'll do the coloring because it's relaxing. And then I got this one. Oops. And it's by the same author. But this one's all like mythological type of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So those are, and then this book is kind of my test book. This is like stuff that I'll test like for like shading, like I did this.
Oh, nice. A griffin.
Very, very nice.
And this was
Dark.
done with those.
But nice.
This was done with those Derwent pencils.
That was
Those
done with
Derwent
what?
pencils?
Hey, Matt, try turning
Yeah.
off your mic and then turning it back on again. You're getting scratchy.
Scratchy.
Yeah.
Scratchy.
Yeah. There's something weird going on with the audio.
Oh, that's nice.
It's very Day of the Dead.
Exactly. And since I play guitar,
Thank you, Helen.
very rock guitar thing. So those are the ones that I've been working on. Rebecca's working on like one of the like Aztec, Mayan. Like she's got some really cool books that she's working that like she works on. Scratchy.
Okay, they're saying the audio is
Yeah.
messed up.
How messed up?
It's crackling.
But I don't hear Russ. I don't hear your voice getting crackly or scratchy. Just Matt.
I'm hearing yours now. Yours was scratchy too. I'm not hearing. See there. It's
Okay.
you
Wait.
hear it?
Does Matt? Do you have something else on by any chance?
No. What about now? Scratchy.
Yep. Might have
Like
to
there's
end
like
the
an
live.
echo.
There's an echo. Like everything is like my phone is off. Everything's off. I've got noise canceling on
Yeah, something's going on.
Oh, Matt. Aliens. Stargazer says it's aliens. Probably.
Oh, goodness
I mean,
gracious.
Russ, you're totally crystal clear.
What about now?
Oh. Thank you, Rachel. I'm doing great. Yes, Houston, we have a problem. Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Suggestion. Disconnect and then try reconnecting, maybe? I mean, we want you here, but like try reconnecting, maybe.
Put the link back in the thing.
Oh boy. We got things going sideways. We got things going echoey and warbly. Oh my goodness.
I'm just wondering if it's
Well,
restring.
Robin said that Russ is out of sync, Matt is distorted, and Craig is fine.
What about now?
Oh. Because I keep hearing an echo of myself. I don't know.
Now?
I think I'm the only one unaffected by the plague. I haven't turned sideways, and apparently I can be heard. I don't know.
Do I need to turn sideways? What about now? It's horrible.
You did a really cool coloring job of an orc, and now you sound like one, you poor dear. Oh dear.
Well, I can end the live.
No.
Well, it's only 20. We're only 20 minutes out anyway.
That's okay. You know, it's just good to be on. Wait, no, somebody says
It is.
Apparently, I'm starting to go wonky.
Yeah,
But now
everything's starting to go. That's why I'm
Rachel says
saying.
to me, Craig and Russ look and sound fine. It's Matt that's wonky. But we knew that.
Hey, it's always the one,
It's a California thing.
it must be. How is it now?
It's the ghost of Charles Manson.
Ah,
That's okay. Oh, he left. Yeah,
He
I'm
did.
sorry, Matt. Love having you here. You're good peeps. It's a shame.
Okay. Well, I am going to call it a
Okay.
night. I have to work. I have to work today.
That sucks.
So yeah, I need to go to bed.
No, somebody says I'm echoing. I don't hear anything weird. I only heard it when Matt was on that I heard an echo.
Yeah, I'm not hearing no echo now, but
But now the tables have turned, my little Russ. Now I get to stay home and you get to go to work.
yep. And let's see. I got to make sure I pay the neighbor. I got to make sure I send your neighbor some money so they can come over once an hour and ring the doorbell.
Right.
Pound on the door
Uh-huh.
just to make sure you're okay.
Well, good luck with that because my neighbors are deaf.
That's why they'll be pounding
I'm
on your
not deaf.
door.
They are. Like I've
I
tried.
know. They'll make sure
Okay, I've
you're
got
up.
neighbors on either side of me. To the one side of me, deaf as a post, and he's a nice guy, but to make up for his being hard of hearing, he will blast his surround sound. Good night, Robin. He'll blast the surround sound, and it sounds like all hell is breaking loose next door. On the other side, there's two garages in between us. I never hear anything. But the only way that I can talk to them is if I call. Like if I try banging on the door or ringing the doorbell, they won't hear it. You know, but no, they are my favorites. I would give them sourdough bread like every week without fail, but they're like, we need to cut back on all the carbs. Like we need to be more conscientious of our diet. So please, we love your bread, but no more bread. So I've been just bringing it to work.
Okay. Take them over some brownies.
They would really hate me for that. Well, the bread,
Why?
at least the bread has like nutritional value. The brownies, it's just like pure sugar. Um,
Oh my gosh. Matt said, they refunded my gift to you.
you know what? Sometimes that happens and you just need to try it again. That happened with me, actually. If it's a gifted subs, sometimes you just got to try it again and then it goes through. That's happened to me, you know. So you're not alone, Matt. I've had that happen before. Um, for whatever reason, that does happen sometimes. Oh, Helen, that's okay. Anything to bring a smile to the faces of people's, it's one of the reasons why I'm here and one of the reasons I do what I do. You know, everybody hit that thumbs up button. I know you can do it. You can do it. Hit that thumbs up button. It's odd to see 89 thummies. It's like that's a lot of digits. Yeah, it was for the memberships. Yeah. Yeah, I tried gifting you some subs a while back, and the same thing happened to me. And then I like popped back in, and I did it again, and then it worked.
Yep. Okay, well, I love you
Mwah!
guys. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow
Indeed.
night.
Yes. Have
Okay,
a good one.
bye,
Bye.
everybody.